Welcome to the Life podcast.
All right, here we go. We are on to the next episode. This is the Life Podcast. Welcome once again. Appreciate y'all tuning in as usual. Y'all know what it is, man. It's the astrology series. We got the same folks in here. We got Black Unicorn. We got Cynthia. How y'all doing today?
Hey, absolutely wonderful.
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
Of
thank
course.
you.
Absolutely. So now we got one of the more popular signs by default. They command attention. We got the Leos. This is what the episode is about. So today we'll be talking about the Leos. Now, in terms of the birthdays, that could fluctuate. It all depends on your preference. But from what I've read, the birthday can be from July 23rd to August 22nd. You can flip that around however you like. But if you're born in between that, you are a Leo. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start this episode. I'm going to ask you, Cynthia, right off the top, what type of sign is a Leo? Earth, air, fire, water?
Easy breezy. So Leos are a fire sign.
So, what does the sign represent in terms of like their personality, just overall?
I always start with a little story. So Greek mythology has shown us that there's several representations of Leos in so many ancient cultures. Okay, it's been said that in Greek history, Zeus he sent fearless giant lion to Hercules on his first job because supposedly he had 12 jobs. So it's a representation of the 12 signs of the zodiac. So the first job is in starts in Leo, in the sign Leo. So basically he was sent giant Leo to find him. And so long story short, Hercules ends up strangling this giant Leo with his own claw. So in order to honor his bravery, Zeus decides to send this lion to the sky, and that's how the Leo sign was created.
Now, the ruling planet of the Leo is what?
Okay, so the sun is the center of our solar system, right? So Leo is the center of attention, so it's ruled by the sun.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy how that all like fits like that. But I can
I
see
mean,
it.
I knew that, but the way that you put it into perspective is like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Now getting into some of their qualities, their traits, just what are some of those qualities? What are some of those traits that the Leo carries?
All right. So the first one I would say is leadership, obviously. So Leos are very well recognized for being true leaders. So they lead anything, they are perfect for leading a company like as CEOs. They like to take always like the first step, for everything. They are fearless. They're very brave too. They can be considered very sporty person too. They are good, on anything that has to do with sports. Like they can be great at, any sport, like from boxing to like wrestling, you name it, any sport. Also, they are very friendly. They have very friendly personalities. So it's very easy to become their friends. Also, they have a very outgoing personality. So you can expect them to, at some point, being a social butterfly too. So if they are in a party, if they are a high vibration Leo, of course, you can expect them to be the center of attention on almost everywhere they go.
And the family and friends, like, they will defend them. I'm talking about right or wrong.
Mm.
Right or wrong. If you have a Leo around you that's protective of you, they're gonna defend you at all costs.
No one's perfect. We know that. None of the signs are perfect. So,
Mhm.
what are some of the weaknesses that you will see in a Leo?
Okay, for me, I can name a lot of them, but the first one I would say is the narcissism. Since I said it before, right? The Leos are supposed to be the center, it's a representation of a center of something, you know? So they can have narcissistic personalities, and being a narcissistic person can be considered something positive and negative. How is that positive for anybody? I feel like part of our human being self-esteem is based on some sort of narcissism.
Absolutely.
Like narcissism is important, you know, to be self-confident in life. But at the same time, it can be something negative, you know, because there's a point where Sanisha would say a low vibrational Leo can be someone, you know, that they put themselves first for everything, which is good. But there's a point where you just don't care about anybody else, you know, and
Right.
that's the main issue there from a Leo. So I can also say that they can be histrionic. So histrionic, like they like to wherever they go, they want to receive the attention.
Mhm.
That will be a low vibrational Leo, you know. And that can be toxic at some point, you know, because like when it comes to like close relationships, that can be something negative, you know, because let's say in a like they can flirt a lot, you know, that charming personality would make them like a womanizers. And also I can say that another weakness from a Leo would be that they can be hotheads, so they can get upset for the smallest things. I'm talking about again about low vibrational Leos, you know.
What about how do you guys feel since you guys both know about Leos and things like that? Do you find that they are able to take constructive criticism, or are they very, very sensitive to criticism? Because that's what I found.
Um, well, based on my experience
Mhm.
with rising Leos, I think they don't take well criticism.
Mhm.
And that was another thing that I want to point out, that they are reluctant to change.
Mhm.
As a fixated signs, we have four fixated signs, right? We have Taurus, we have Leo, we have Aquarius, we have Scorpio, but Leo is one of them. So they if they say they want something, right, it will be very hard for them to change their mind or their opinion.
What are like the biggest strengths of a Leo? Like what are the one of some of the bigger points and the great things that come from Leo?
I would say too, like I mean, like the friendlies, like the part of being friendly, you know, the part of being kind to others, you know, like um leading, you know, leading. They can be managers, they can be, you know, proactive at any level. They can get to help motivating other people, you know, to do things. You can rely on them, you know, for like, you know, they can be great confidence, you know, like you can rely on them for any advice that you want. You know, they're gonna be there, you know.
And then you mentioned Marilyn Monroe, but you thought of somebody that represents Leo better,
Mhm.
right? And so moving into the celebrity segment, who are we talking about today? Who represents a Leo?
Yeah, so there's a lot of representations of Leo, but I was thinking on Mike Tyson, you know. You can see that Mike Tyson, he's a rising Leo. And I mean, I can see that on him on a physical level, on his personality as well, on everything he is. You know, he's a professional boxing person. You know, he has won like so many, he has accomplished so many things in life, you know. And at the same time, you know, he has worked in the entertainment industry too. And that's something that I forgot to say earlier in our conversations, because I feel like Leo is the representation of the entertainment industry
Yeah.
too. He has been involved in the entertainment industry. He has, you know, participated in some movies like Rocky, you know, like Rocky Balboa. And then also, well, he has been accused of negative things too. um, like he was a bully when he was little, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's something that shows up like the negative side from his Leo rising, you know. Not everything is positive about him and about all other human beings, you know. We're not perfect, you know.
Right. But to be fair, he was bullied first. He was being bullied and he became the bully. So
Yeah,
it wasn't like he just came out just being a bully, right?
yeah, yeah. It's that
So
part.
I just wanted to just clear that up because he wasn't just like a bully. He actually was defending himself from people that bullied him because of his socioeconomic status
Right.
growing up and things like that. So
It was like a learned habit that he had to do.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's like kill or be killed.
Right. And that's where the anger came from. It was like, I'm angry, so I'm about to start beating up everybody because now I understand I got these hands.
Right.
I got these
Exactly.
hands, right?
Right.
And that's when it was like, his mentor, or whatever, said, okay, challenge this, channel that into boxing.
hmm Exactly. And then
Or
kind of
you're
on the
gonna go to
point,
jail. You're gonna do some crazy stuff if you don't do
yeah.
this.
But kind of on the point of his arrogance too, that
Yeah, very
became his
arrogant.
downfall. I mean, because it's crazy. I think he does represent Leo very well because he was someone that was extremely confident, someone that pretty much did like the center of attention, was very vociferous, right? He spoke up for himself. His vocabulary is actually incredible. Um, but then that got to his head. He started buying this, that, and the third. He had to show out. I think Cynthia mentioned it earlier, right? Like his money, his tigers, he had to show out. And so ultimately all that came crashing down because of his own ego. So I think that represents Mike Tyson well.
And I think something else to mention too with him being a solar cancer is like even now to this day, he's more like of a homebody. You don't see him out doing all of the stuff that he did.
What are some of the more compatible signs that are compatible with the Leo?
Yeah, so as I have mentioned before in other previous sessions or videos that we made, I remember particularly the Gemini episode. I pointed out that for me, on a personal level, you know, obviously they get along or they find less challenges, you know, with Geminis, with Aquarius, and with, I mean, the air and fire signs, right? But for me, on a personal level, I would say my first two choices for any Leo would be a Gemini. Why? Because that will help him, you know, expressing this part of entertainment. You know, yeah, a Leo will keep a Gemini entertained, and Gemini will help a Leo of being like expressing himself or herself. You know, and then my second choice will be a Libra. Because Libras are part of this kind of self-expression too, you know, artistic self-expression. So they can be very compatible on any level, as a friendship, as in a work environment, as friends, whatever you name it. And the third one, they're opposite Aquarius, because Aquarius are very unique people. So they will complement Leo very well, because Leo also rules creativity. So
Mhm.
they might need someone unique in their own way or type to express themselves.
Like what signs are the least compatible with the Leo?
Pisces.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say the signs that are usually not compatible with a Leo are obviously water and earth signs, right? But like Stanisha said, I was going to say too that Pisces are the ones with that Leo would find a lot of challenges. Why? Because Pisces are like too weak. I mean, I don't want to say all Pisces are weak, you
Oh,
know, but I don't want to say all Pisces are weak, you know. Don't
Ooh.
get me wrong, people,
they
but
are not weak.
I mean, like, I don't know how to say it, like emotional, you know. So like
Sensitive.
yeah, sensitive. So a Leo is not too sensitive, you know. They are more like they have a huge ego, so
They're brash. They're brash.
they need somebody self-confident,
Yeah, they're very direct.
and yeah, very direct. So I feel like a Pisces, usually they are not very, I'm not saying all of them, okay, but
Right.
usually they are not very self-confident. They tend to have low self-esteem, and when it comes to earth signs, I don't want to say all of them, but they are might be too slow, for a Leo.
Mm-hmm.
So they need someone with an air nature, someone that can understand the energy, that can match their energy, So Pisces number one, and number two, I want to say maybe a Taurus, again, because it might be too slow for them. But I have to point out something. So if there is any Taurus that's like Taurus half Gemini, that I mean, I can explain it all because people might
Yeah,
not.
Cuspers.
Yeah, so like a Taurus Gemini would get along with a Leo better than a Taurus, So that's my number two choice. And number three, well, I would say those two. Yeah, those two will be the ones that might have more, challenges
I
with a
dig it.
Leo.
Yeah, but I do want to point out the that you said when you talked about the self-confidence and Pisces having low self-confidence, I do feel like Leos can suffer from imposter syndrome as well.
Mm,
So what I mean by that is this confidence that you see may not be authentic.
yeah, and that's again like coming back to the part of being vain, They
Mhm.
like to show up something that they are not.
Makes sense. So now full circle, as we come to this closing, because there's definitely a lot of great things about Leos. And
Absolutely.
so I definitely want to touch on, you know, what is the general purpose of a Leo? What do they bring to this planet?
Yeah, so I mean, in previous videos, I have explained, right, that I mean, in house number one, or when in Aries we were born, in Taurus we were looking for like possessions in order to like survive, like food and money, in Gemini, as human beings, we're looking to travel and explore the world with the possessions that we already had. In Cancer, we were looking for shelter. And now in Leo, once you have a home, what do you want to do? You want to keep yourself entertained. You turn on the TV
Mhm.
and you want to do something fun. If you have children, you want to do something fun with them. So I feel like Leo is the representation of a lot of things: creativity, entertainment, um, the also the house of royalty, like I said at the start. So for me, the main purpose of a Leo is to entertain. The main purpose of a Leo is to show up to the world great leadership. They are great leaders, so they bring to this world their passion for bringing up like energetic, the energy that the world needs, like if you think about it, um like Jesus Christ was the representation of Leo at some point, because supposedly whatever your religion is, um he was here to save the world, from the darkness, supposedly. So that's how Leos are too, they are here to show us that the main purpose of a person also is to build their own self-esteem and to have fun, because not everything in life is about working. Not everything in life is about stressing. As human beings, we also have a spirit, and we need to build our mental health and our self-esteem based on entertainment. And we need
Mhm.
to pay attention to that. And that is something that I feel like as a society, especially here in the US, we have lost the part of having fun. If you are a Leo, please, take this in consideration for your own life, lead your own life, and yeah, take care of your family, have fun.
Yeah.
That's
I
dope.
think they are the true representation of Mama Bear.
Yeah.
They can be.
All right, well, um, I think that was informational. I think I learned a lot more bad than good. Not that they are bad signs, but I learned a lot of different things because the piece of literature I was reading, it didn't mention a lot. So I'm thinking that the author was like biased, but Cynthia
Mhm.
came in here and really broke it down and
Mhm.
let us know they're just like any other sign,
Always.
right? They got their issues too, but this is a phenomenal episode. You know what it is. We're still going, still going. Um, Virgo is up next, which I'm actually very interested to read about more because I don't know if maybe they get a lot of shade, but I know a lot of Virgos and they seem just very balanced and all that. We'll talk about that later. But that's the next episode. I appreciate
Definitely my sister sign.
you said the what signs?
My sister sign. I know
Uh,
all about those Virgos. You know how you know about those Leos, Cynthia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about those Virgos.
okay. But that will conclude this episode of the Leo. We appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate you two being a part of this as usual. We're hanging in there. We're more than halfway through now. So on to the next episode. Peace.